You can't be serious, High Commander Vialaxer, First Lieutenant KRTH exclaimed, their crystal limbs tapping against the smooth obsidian tiles with barely contained agitation. You want me to supervise the setup of a penal colony for those beings? High Commander Vialaxer's bioluminescent markings flickered in a pattern that could only be interpreted as smug delight. The ancient Zexthion's 4 eyes blinked in perfect unison, watching KRTH's discomfort with thinly veiled amusement. Oh, I'm quite serious, KRTH, and do try to control those crystals of yours. You're scratching my prized floor. Vialaxer's voice had that lilting tone KRTH had come to despise, a sound that made them want to shed their outer layers prematurely. Besides, wasn't it you who requested how did you put it, a challenge that would push your abilities? KRTH's external layer deepened into a humiliated shade of purple. Yes, but humans? The Death World species. The same ones who looked at one of the most dangerous planets we know of and thought, wonderful, let's build a beach house. Exactly, Vialaxer replied, practically buzzing with delight. The Galactic Council has finally greenlit my project. We're going to create the ultimate prison world, designed to manage human criminals, rebels, and general troublemakers. KRTH's sensory filaments drooped. With all respect, High Commander, have you been indulging in too much stellar nectar? These are the beings who took their own penal colony and turned it into a thriving civilization. They named it Australia, and now it's one of their most cherished places, which is precisely why we'll succeed where others have failed. Vialaxer countered, activating their holoprojector to reveal a massive planet slowly rotating between them. Behold, PKX 2187, or as I've taken to calling it, our magnum opus. KRTH had to admit the planet was impressive in a horrifying way. Gravity, 1.3 times Earth standard. Atmosphere, dense with noble gases that humans could breathe, though not comfortably. Surface conditions that made Australia look like a tropical getaway. We've meticulously crafted every detail, Vialaxer continued, their zeal bordering on unsettling. The vast desert regions experience daytime temperatures of 65 degrees Celsius, dropping to -20 at night. The equatorial jungles are filled with flame-resistant carnivorous plants, because, naturally, we know they'll try to burn them. The polar zones are home to predators that would make Earth's extinct megalodons seem harmless. KRTH felt their primary stomach turn. And you think this will contain them? Vialaxer's bioluminescent patches dimmed slightly. Well, most likely. We've run countless simulations. You mean the same kind of simulations that predicted they couldn't survive on Mars without assistance? The very humans who are now offering tours there. This is different, Vialaxer insisted, dismissing the thought with a wave of their upper limbs. We've accounted for every variable. The seas are brimming with creatures that make Earth's box jellyfish seem friendly. The mountains have magnetic properties that disrupt nearly all navigation systems. We even scaled up the local version of mosquitoes to be the size of their small birds. Vialaxer continued with glee. KRTH's horror must have been evident because Vialaxer quickly reassured them, don't worry. You'll have a fully equipped orbital station, a place of absolute safety. The humans will be transported down to the surface and will monitor their attempts to survive. It's a flawless plan. You said the same thing about the Martian terraforming project, KRTH grumbled. And now they're growing potatoes there, calling it Martian farming, which is precisely why you're ideal for this task. Vialaxer's enthusiasm rebounded. You understand their unique tendency to confront certain death and say, hold my beer, though I still have no idea what beer even is. KRTH's secondary brain began drafting resignation paperwork, while their primary brain attempted to compose a coherent objection. High Commander, these are the same creatures who found one of their planets had acid rain and decided to settle there anyway. They called it character building weather. Yes, and that's why we've made this place even worse. There's no way they could possibly. At that moment, a junior officer burst into the room, their skin flashing urgent hues. High Commander, there's been a leak. Someone posted about PKX 2187 on something called Reddit. Vialaxer's bioluminescence flickered in bewilderment. The junior officer's voice shook as they continued. We're already receiving applications. Voluntary applications from humans. They're calling it Australia 2.0, the ultimate challenge, and they're offering to pay us for the experience. KRTH's crystalline appendages made a sound suspiciously like a facepalm against their exoskeleton. Let me guess, they're already designing survival gear. The junior officer nodded miserably. Worse, they're designing surfboards for the methane lakes in the polar regions. Something about extreme sports potential. Vialaxer's 4 eyes blinked in rapid succession. But the methane lakes are teeming with predators that could swallow their watercraft whole. They're calling it danger surfing, the junior officer reported. There's already a waitlist, and someone named Extremeo69 is trying to trademark the phrase. KRTH turned to Vialaxer, their voice laced with a sarcasm sharp enough to corrode starship plating. Congratulations, High Commander. You haven't created a prison planet. You've invented the galaxy's hottest extreme tourism destination. Vialaxer's bioluminescent patches dimmed to near darkness. Perhaps we should reconsider our strategy. Oh no, KRTH replied, their crystalline limbs clicking with barely concealed amusement. You wanted me to manage this project? Fine, but I'll need a bigger budget. For extra security measures? Vialaxer asked, grasping at hope. No, KRTH responded, for a gift shop. We're going to need one, and maybe a coffee stand. Humans can't seem to function without something called espresso. Even on death worlds, the junior officer timidly raised an appendage. Should I mention the giant carnivorous trees in the equatorial regions? Don't bother, KRTH sighed, exasperation coloring their tone. They'll probably try to build tree houses in them, and back on Earth, thousands of humans were already packing their bags, fine-tuning survival kits, and updating their social media with the hashtag Australia 2.0 challenge. The galaxy's most secure prison planet was about to become its most trending tourist attraction, and KRTH had the sinking feeling this was only the beginning of their troubles. 3 solar cycles later, KRTH stood on the observation deck of the orbital station, watching their career plunge toward the gravitational pull of PKX 2187 below. Beside them, their newly assigned assistant, Kara, scanned the latest updates with mounting disbelief. Just so I'm clear, Kara said, their phosphorescent spots flashing with confusion. Humans are not only volunteering to come to our prison planet, but are also raiding it. KRTH's crystalline appendages drooped in resignation. Yes, they've started something called Yelp for Death Worlds. We currently have 4.5 stars. We lost half a star because the volcanic regions have poor Wi-Fi coverage, KRTH muttered. Apparently, humans want to live stream their near-death experiences. Just then, the observation deck doors whooshed open, and High Commander Vialaxer glided in, looking as though they'd just been informed their species would soon be extinct, starting with them. KRTH, have you seen the latest human transmissions? If you're referring to the Methane Lake Surfing Championships, then yes, KRTH replied wearily, though I still don't understand how they managed to tame the predatory lake creatures. They're calling them danger dolphins. Kara interjected helpfully. Apparently, they're training them with something called treats and belly rubs. Vialaxer's bioluminescent patterns flickered in alarm. That's not even the worst of it. Remember those carnivorous trees we engineered? KRTH braced for impact. The ones that can uproot themselves and actively hunt? The humans are. Vialaxer struggled, visibly disturbed. They're racing them. Kara quickly brought up a holographic feed from the surface. Sure enough, clusters of humans were perched atop the massive carnivorous trees, navigating them with intricate harnesses. They're calling it Tree Cross, Kara explained, both horrified and impressed. The reigning champion goes by Timber Surfer. He apparently learned to communicate with the trees through a mix of synthesized pheromones and interpretive dance. KRTH's membrane flashed through a spectrum of incredulous colors. Please tell me that's all. Well, Kara's voice carried that distinct tone warning KRTH that things were about to deteriorate further. Remember those oversized mosquitoes we engineered? No, KRTH murmured, dreading the answer. Humans have started a racing league with them. They call it the Mosquito Grand Prix. They've outfitted the mosquitoes with saddles, and there's even a junior division for their younglings. Vialaxer's 4 eyes closed in sequence, each one conveying more resignation than the last. This was supposed to be a punishment, a deterrent. How did it all go so spectacularly wrong? Vialaxer muttered, gazing down at the bustling prison-turned-playground below. KRTH was about to offer a sarcastic response when their communication panel blinked with a new message. Oh, what now? Are they bottling the acid geysers for spa treatments? Kara scanned the message, somehow managing to look even more bewildered. Actually, it's a business proposal from an entity called Disney Galactic Entertainment. They want to open a theme park. A what? KRTH and Vialaxer exclaimed together. They're calling it Extreme World, where Death World dreams come true. Kara continued, eyes glued to the screen. They're offering a substantial investment, and they'd like us to engineer more varieties of predatory creatures. Apparently, their focus groups are demanding more extreme options for the Platinum package. KRTH turned to Vialaxer, crystalline limbs clicking with something close to hysterical amusement. Remember when I said we'd need a gift shop? I'm gonna need a few extra zeros added to that budget. But what about its purpose? purpose as a prison? VA Laxer stammered, clutching at the last shreds of their initial plan. Just then, another message appeared on the screen. Kara read it, breaking into a sound resembling uncontrollable laughter in their species. What is it now? KRTH asked, feeling a sense of impending doom. The actual prisoners down there. They've started a guided tour service. Kara choked out, still shaking with laughter. They call themselves the Original Australia 2.0 Pioneers and offer authentic survival experiences. They even have a loyalty rewards program. VA Laxer's bioluminescence faded to a feeble glow. Perhaps this could be considered a successful rehabilitation initiative? Oh, it gets even better, Kara added, practically vibrating with mirth. Remember Max, the menace Martinez, the infamous criminal sentenced to 3 lifetimes? Don't tell me, KRTH began, already guessing where this was headed. He's opened a coffee shop chain in the cave systems, Extreme Beans Coffee, worth dying for. It's a hit. The line for his signature methane mocha spans 3 time zones. KRTH turned back to the observation window, gazing down at what was now the galaxy's most popular and profitable tourist hotspot. You know what the real punishment would be now? What's that? VA Laxer asked miserably. Banning humans from coming here, KRTH replied. Though I have a feeling they just launch an underground tourism service and call it Extra Extreme Australia 2.0, the forbidden experience. Kara's console pinged yet again. Speaking of experiences, we just received a proposal for a reality show. They're calling it Keeping Up with the Killer Trees. VA Laxer's composure finally crumbled, their bioluminescent patches practically dimming into non-existence. Is it too late for a career change? KRTH shrugged, their voice dripping with sarcasm. Look on the bright side. At least we've created the galaxy's premier death world resort. Isn't that what every prison warden dreams of? At least we're turning a profit. And consider the research data we're gathering on human behavior, KRTH offered, though their optimism was paper-thin. You mean like the fact they've somehow taught the magnetic mountains to play something called heavy metal? Kara asked innocently. The sound of VA Laxer's crystalline head hitting the observation window in exasperation was nearly drowned out by distant echoes of human laughter, and the surreal sight of a giant mosquito doing loop-the-loops while towing a banner advertising extreme wedding packages. KRTH sighed and made a mental note to order more espresso machines. They had a feeling they'd be needing them. Welcome to the quarterly review meeting of Project PKX 2187, Grand Overseer Xanthos announced, their crystalline form radiating such intense disapproval that several junior officers activated their protective shields. Let's begin with whatever this disaster is. KRTH stood before the Galactic Council's review board, studiously ignoring VA Laxer, who was doing their best to shrink into invisibility. The holo projector displayed scenes from PKX 2187, including a human riding a giant mosquito while playing something called a saxophone. As you can see, KRTH began, their tone forcibly professional. We've made adjustments to the initial project goals. Adjustments? Exlanasa's voice could have frozen a supernova. Your so-called prison planet has a waiting list longer than the Great Spiral Arm. And why are we receiving partnership requests from a creature named Instagram? Kara, who'd somehow been roped into presenting, eagerly chimed in. Actually, Instagram is a human social media network. They're seeking exclusive rights to feature stories about our carnivorous trees. One particular tree 4728, or branching out Barbara, has developed a massive following. She has more fans than most human celebrities. One of the council members, Rix, leaned forward with a disbelieving look. Are you telling me the humans have given names to the engineered predators we created? Oh, not just names, Kara continued, oblivious to KRTH's frantic signals to stop. They've given them personalities. Barbara is the sassy photobomber, apparently. Then there's Tim Bark, renowned for his, dance moves. Enough! Xanthos thundered, shattering a nearby light fixture. This was meant to be a detention facility, not an amusement park. Extreme sports and adventure resort, KRTH interjected, figuring they may as well lean into the absurdity. Another council member pulled up a hologram. And what is this Danger Dolphin Racing League, and why have they requested official Galactic Sports Federation recognition? Yes, KRTH replied, while mentally weighing career options in antimatter juggling. It appears the lake predators, Danger Dolphins, as the humans have named them, have bonded with visitors in a unique, sporting arrangement. Xanthos's bioluminescent patterns flashed with frustration. Bonded with humans? The very creatures we engineered to ensure human containment. Well, KRTH said with a sigh, apparently, they respond to treats and belly rubs, and now there's a whole circuit of Danger Dolphin racing events. There's even a junior league for human younglings. Grand Overseer Xanthos's crystalline form flickered in exasperation. plan. This entire initiative was supposed to represent the pinnacle of correctional control. Instead, you've created an intergalactic tourist trap, or perhaps a groundbreaking cross-species collaboration, KRTH suggested, with all the enthusiasm of someone resigned to their fate. Just then, Kara's console pinged again. "Oh, speaking of collaboration," Kara said, voice bright, "we've received another proposal, a reality show called Keeping Up with the Killer Trees." Valaxer sank further into their chair, muttering, "I wonder if there's a retirement program for failed prison wardens." "Look at it this way," KRTH offered dryly, "we've discovered humans' boundless potential for survival and creativity. I call that a success. If we weren't losing control of everything." "They're particularly fond of something called belly rubs and fish treats," Kara added with a cheerful tone. "Those creatures were engineered to be lethal aquatic hunters," Xanthos growled, their crystalline form emitting ominous cracking sounds. "They still are," Kara replied brightly. "They just hunt with the humans now instead of hunting them. Last week, they even helped intercept an illegal poaching operation. Apparently, the poachers were trying to smuggle eggs from the acid-spitting Perota species." Xanthos's crystalline head seemed ready to shatter. "And what happened to these poachers?" "Oh, they were arrested," Kara answered, "but not before the Danger Dolphins convinced them to sign up for the resort's annual membership. Something about the thrill of the chase really sold them on the experience." Valaxer, who had been trying unsuccessfully to blend in with the wall decor, finally piped up, "If I may, we are generating substantial revenue." "Revenue?" Xanthos bellowed. "This was supposed to be a punishment facility." "Well," KRTH ventured, "technically, we are punishing them. Have you seen the prices at the gift shop?" Before Xanthos could respond, the emergency channel activated, and a frantic junior officer appeared on screen. "Sorry to interrupt, but we have a situation. The humans have organized something called a flash mob with the magnetic mountains." "A what with the what?" multiple council members exclaimed in confusion. "They've synchronized the mountain's magnetic pulses to play something called We Will Rock You, with the carnivorous trees acting as backup dancers. It's trending on TikTok and, oh no, what now?" KRTH muttered, feeling a dull ache form in all three of their brains. Disney Galactic Entertainment has just submitted a bid to purchase the entire Northern Hemisphere. They're calling it Phase 1 of something called Project Extreme UR. Xanthos turned back to KRTH with a chilling calm. "Please tell me you at least have control over the prison popula." Kara, oblivious to the concept of restraint, brought up another hologram. "Oh, the original inmates? They've formed a business consortium called From Felons to Fortune. Stream Tourism Enterprises. They're actually our highest grossing partners. Last month's Prison Break Experience package was sold out. Apparently, humans will pay a premium to be chased by security drones while attempting to navigate the deadly jungle. They're paying to stage a prison break on a planet designed to prevent escape." A council member looked on in stunned disbelief. "Yes, and they even fill out customer satisfaction surveys afterward. Our biggest complaint is that the security drones aren't intimidating enough, so we had to program them to laugh maniacally while pursuing guests." KRTH watched as Xanthos's color cycled through various hues of outrage before settling on a unique shade of apoplectic fury. "In our defense," KRTH offered, "this is, technically, the most successful rehabilitation program in galactic history. Our recidivism rate is 0 because they're all too busy running tourist businesses to commit crimes again," KRTH pointed out, trying to keep a straight face. "Exactly," Xanthos bellowed, somehow making their crystalline form shimmer with indignation and disbelief simultaneously. "Isn't it inspiring how capitalism can bring about positive change?" Before Xanthos could recover, another alert flashed across the screen. Kara, once again, was doubled over with a sound that could only be described as uncontainable mirth. "What now?" Valaxer asked, peeling themselves away from what seemed to be an attempt to quantum tunnel through the wall in embarrassment. Kara managed to contain themselves long enough to deliver the latest development. "Remember the giant mosquitoes? The humans have entered them into the Galactic Racing Championships, and they won all 3 podium positions. They're calling it a groundbreaking day for interspecies sports diplomacy." KRTH glanced at the review board, watching as the council members seemed to go through all 5 stages of grief in unison. "About that budget increase for the gift shop expansion?" "Out," Xanthos bellowed. "Everyone, out, and someone get me whatever humans drink to handle situations like this." "Methane mocha, coming right up," Kara chirped. "Would you like to join our Extreme Beans loyalty program? 5 purchases get you a free I Survived Australia 2.0 t-shirt." As they were ushered from the chamber, KRTH could have sworn they heard Xanthos muttering something about early retirement. Meanwhile, the faint strains of "We Will Rock You" drifted up from the magnetic mountains below, accompanied by the synchronized, enthusiastic movements of thousands of carnivorous trees. Just another day in the galaxy's most profitable, yet utterly failed, prison project. KRTH turned to VA Laxer, crystalline limbs clicking with barely contained hysteria. "Remember when I suggested the gift shop? We're going to need a few more zeros added to that budget. But what about its purpose as a prison?" VA Laxer protested feebly as another message pinged in. Kara checked the screen and burst into what could only be described as hysterical laughter. "What now?" KRTH asked, bracing for impact. "The prisoners. They've started a tourist guide service," Kara wheezed, still laughing. "They're calling themselves the Original Australia 2.0 Pioneers, and they're offering authentic survival experiences to the tourists. They even have a loyalty rewards program." VA Laxer's bioluminescent glow dimmed to near invisibility. "Perhaps we could call this a successful rehabilitation effort?" "Oh, it gets better," Kara added, now practically vibrating with amusement. "Remember Max, the Menace Martinez, the infamous triple-lifer?" KRTH groaned. "Don't tell me he's opened a chain of coffee shops in the cave systems. Extreme Beans Coffee, worth dying for. The line for his signature methane mocha spans 3 time zones." KRTH gazed down at the planet, now glowing with the lights of the galaxy's most sought-after and profitable destination. "You know what the real punishment would be now?" "What's that?" VA Laxer asked miserably. "Banning humans from coming here," KRTH replied with a sigh. "But I'm sure they just start an underground operation and call it Extra Extreme Australia 2.0, the Forbidden Experience." "Banning humans from coming here," KRTH replied, "though I suspect they just start a black market tourism operation and call it Extra Extreme Australia 2.0, the Forbidden Experience." Kara's communication panel pinged again. Speaking of experiences, we've just received a proposal for a reality show, something called Keeping Up with the Killer Trees." VA Laxer, finally losing all composure, slumped against the observation window. "Is it too late to consider a career change?" "Look on the bright side," KRTH said, voice dripping with sarcasm. "At least we're making a profit. And think of all the valuable research data on human behavior we're collecting." "You mean like how they've managed to teach the magnetic mountains to play something called heavy metal music?" Kara asked innocently. The sound of VA Laxer's crystalline head banging against the window was almost drowned out by distant human laughter, and the surreal sight of a mosquito doing aerial loops while towing a banner advertising extreme wedding packages. KRTH just sighed, jotting a reminder to order more espresso machines. They had a feeling they'd need them. "Welcome to the quarterly review meeting of Project PKX 2187, Grand Overseer Xanthos announced, their crystalline form pulsing with such intense disapproval that several junior officers activated their protective shields. "Let's begin with whatever this is." KRTH stood before the Galactic Council's review board, trying not to notice VA Laxer shrinking into the shadows. The hollow projector flickered to life, displaying various scenes from the prison planet, including what appeared to be a human riding a giant mosquito while playing a saxophone. "As you can see," KRTH began, voice carefully modulated to sound professional rather than hysterical, "we've made some adaptations to the original project parameters." "Adaptations?" Exlanas's voice could have frozen a sun. "Your so-called prison planet has a wait list longer than the Great Spiral Arm, and why is a creature called Instagram requesting partnerships?" Kara, who'd been pulled into the presentation, spoke up helpfully. "Actually, Instagram is a human social media platform. They want exclusive rights to something called Stories featuring our carnivorous trees. One particular tree, Tree 4728, also known as Branching Out Barbara, has a huge following. She has more fans than most human celebrities." Rix, another council member, leaned forward, incredulous. "Are you saying that humans have named the biological weapons we designed?" "Oh, not just named them," Kara continued, oblivious to KRTH's frantic gestures to stop. "They've given them personalities. Barbara's the sassy one who loves to photobomb tourists. Then there's Tim Bark, known for his elaborate dance routines." "Enough!" Xanthos thundered, causing several light fixtures to flicker and shatter. "This facility was meant to be a correctional institution, not a theme park," KRTH offered dryly, deciding to just embrace the chaos. "Resort," Kara corrected brightly. "The humans prefer the term extreme adventure destination." Xanthos's crystalline face flashed various shades of fury. "If I wanted a list of preferred human terminology, I'd ask. Now tell me, what is this about a Danger Dolphin Racing League, and why are they requesting official recognition from the Galactic Sports Federation?" KRTH, now fully resigned, replied with as much dignity as possible. Ah yes, it appears our, predatory lake dwellers have bonded with the humans in a rather unique partnership. Xanthos groaned. Bonded? Bonded. The creatures we designed to ensure human containment. Well, it seems the dolphins respond to treats and belly rubs, and now they're popular contestants in a racing circuit, KRTH admitted, attempting to sound factual. There's even a junior division for human younglings. Xanthos's color shifted through a spectrum of emotions before settling on a uniquely unpleasant shade of furious resignation. In our defense, KRTH offered, this is technically the most successful rehabilitation program in galactic history. This was intended to be a detention facility, not a theme park, Xanthos seethed. A resort and extreme sports destination, KRTH corrected helpfully, deciding they might as well lean into the chaos. Another council member pulled up a holographic display. And what's this about something called the Danger Dolphin Racing League? And why are they requesting official recognition from the Galactic Sports Federation? Ah, yes, KRTH replied, briefly wondering if antimatter juggling might be a less stressful career path. It seems our predatory lake dwellers have developed quite a cooperative relationship with the humans. They're especially fond of belly rubs and something called fish treats. Those creatures were designed to be lethal aquatic hunters, Xanthos growled. They still are, Kara piped up cheerfully. They just hunt with the humans now instead of hunting them. Why, just last week they helped break up an illegal poaching ring. The poachers were trying to steal eggs from the acid-spitting Perota variants. Xanthos's crystalline structure made an ominous cracking noise. And what happened to these poachers? Oh, they were arrested, Kara reported, but not before the Danger Dolphins convinced them to sign up for the resort's annual membership. Apparently, the thrill of the chase really sold them on it. The Laxer, who had been attempting to blend in with the wall decor, finally cleared their throat. If I may, we are generating substantial revenue. Revenue? Xanthos burst out, barely holding onto their composure. This was supposed to be a punishment facility. Technically, KRTH ventured, we are punishing them. Have you seen the prices in the gift shop? Before Xanthos could respond, an emergency alert flashed on the screen. A junior officer appeared, looking panicked. Sorry to interrupt, but we have a situation. The humans have organized something they call a flash mob with the magnetic mountains. A what with the what? Several council members asked, visibly mystified. They've synchronized the mountain's magnetic pulses to play something called We Will Rock You, with the carnivorous trees acting as backup dancers. It's trending on a human platform called TikTok, and oh no, what now? KRTH groaned, already feeling a headache spreading across all three of their brains. Disney Galactic Entertainment just made an offer to purchase the entire Northern Hemisphere. They're calling it Phase 1 of a project they call Project Extreme UR. Xanthos turned a chilling gaze back to KRTH. Please tell me you at least maintained control over the prisoner popula. Kara, blissfully unaware of the risk of career-limiting comments, brought up another holographic display. The original inmates? Oh, they formed a business consortium, asterisk from felons to fortune. Stream Tourism Enterprises, asterisk they're our most profitable partners, actually. Last month's prison break experience package was completely sold out. It turns out humans will pay premium prices to be chased by our security drones while attempting to escape through the deadly jungle. Xanthos's colors cycled furiously as they processed this. You're telling me they're paying for the experience of breaking out of a prison meant to be escape-proof? Yes, and they leave customer satisfaction surveys, too, Kara continued brightly. Our biggest complaint was that the security drones weren't menacing enough, so we had to program them to laugh maniacally while pursuing the guests. KRTH watched as Xanthos's hue settled into a vibrant shade of rage. So, technically, they ventured, this is the most successful rehabilitation initiative in galactic history. They're paying to break out of prison in a place designed to be inescapable? One council member looked utterly bewildered. Precisely, Xanthos roared. Isn't it amazing how capitalism can drive positive change? Of course, they really should have anticipated what came next. The Interdimensional Entertainment Network wanted to franchise the concept, proposing a new venture, Extreme Multiverse, where every reality is an adventure. Before KRTH could process this latest twist, the stadium erupted in cheers as none other than Max, the Menace Martinez, formerly one of the galaxy's most notorious criminals, now a coffee mogul, rode into the arena on a sleek, modified security drone, clad in a glittering cape and hover boots. Ladies, gentlemen, and beings of all quantum states, Max's voice boomed across the stadium. Welcome to the most extreme event in the history of, well, everything, but first, who wants free samples of our new Quantum Quake Espresso, guaranteed to keep you awake across dimensions? In the VIP box, the hive mind queens of Scorpio Scorpius filmed the spectacle for their reality show, which had somehow become the highest-rated program in galactic history. Their latest episode, Drama in the Death World, Barbara's Big Break, had sparked 3 peaceful revolutions and even a marriage proposal between 2 warring species. "Oh, heads up, Jack," one of the human commentators called out. "Here comes the athlete parade." The stadium floor opened, a mechanism originally designed as a trap leading to an acid pit but now repurposed for showmanship. Out came the most diverse array of competitors the galaxy had ever seen. A team of VX-Chlor youth riding domesticated, smaller versions of the infamous carnivorous trees, rebranded as Extreme Pets. The answer to your boring garden. The entire mechanical collective drone dance team, each flaunting custom capes crafted by their new fashion division. A delegation from the crystalline consciousness meditating in sync while surfing methane lakes as part of their new sport, extreme meditation. An array of human athletes who had built entire careers around finding innovative ways to almost die for sport, and even a group of reformed space pirates now proudly working as adventure tourism consultants. By the way, Kara added, grinning, remember the prison break simulation experience? It's now being used as a team-building exercise by the Galactic Peace Council. Apparently, nothing unites diplomats like racing through a deadly jungle with laughing security drones at their heels. KRTH was about to respond when something in the sky caught their attention. Wait, are those the magnetic mountains? Indeed, several of the magnetic mountains had somehow been transported to form a floating ring around the stadium. As the gathered audience watched in awe, the mountains pulsed in perfect sequence, creating what could only be described as a literal rock concert. "Oh yeah," Jack beamed. "They're debuting their new album, Geological Revolution, Sounds of the Death World." As the mountains reverberated with music, KRTH took in the scene. An arena packed with thrill seekers, reality stars, reformed criminals, and esteemed diplomats, all drawn together in what was supposed to be the galaxy's most secure detention facility. It was chaotic, utterly bizarre, and astonishingly profitable. KRTH turned to Vialaxer, their voice tinged with something between awe and resignation. "Well, we set out to create an inescapable prison, and somehow we created the ultimate entertainment empire," Vialaxer sighed. "So, are you telling me we should expect a budget increase? Only if we can sell tickets for next season," KRTH replied, watching as the magnetic mountains kicked into the next track and the carnivorous trees swayed in time, fully choreographed with the humans below. It seemed like the galaxy's most improbable rehabilitation experiment was just beginning. "It's already platinum in 16 star systems," Kara noted, watching as the holographic charts showed Geological Revolution, Sounds of the Death World topping the Interstellar music charts. "The mountains are scheduled for a multi-planet tour next month." Vialaxer, who had been unusually quiet until now, finally spoke up. "You know the strangest part? Our rehabilitation statistics are the best in the galaxy. Turns out that giving people a way to channel their criminal tendencies into extreme sports and entertainment is remarkably effective." Speaking of statistics, Kara added, scanning their data feed, PKX 2187, or Australia 2.0, as it's now officially recognized in the Galactic database, has become the most profitable venture in Galactic Council history. "We're actually having to turn away investors from other dimensions." The ceremony reached its peak as Barbara the Tree, now a galactic sensation with her own merchandise line and fan club, performed an intricate finale. She juggled smaller predatory plants while executing a stunning tree-style rendition of Swan Lake, accompanied by the security drone orchestra and a dazzling light show from synchronized mosquito formations. The crowd's roar was deafening. KRTH turned to their colleagues with what passed as a grin in their species. "You know, maybe we didn't fail at creating the perfect prison planet after all." Vialaxer raised their equivalent of an eyebrow. "We may have accidentally created something even better, a place where the galaxy's most dangerous elements become its most entertaining ones. Where else can you rehabilitate criminals by turning danger into sport and threats into tourist attractions?" Jack, now a well-known commentator, nodded enthusiastically. "Plus, we're opening a university next month, the Extreme Academy of Applied Adventure Studies. Our motto is **, where every class is a near-death experience." Kara's communication panel pinged one last time. "Oh, interesting, the Galactic Council just voted to officially redesignate PKX 2187. We're now classified as a cultural preservation and extreme entertainment heritage site." As the closing ceremony reached its zenith, bioluminescent creatures choreographed by the Hive Mind Queens formed a galaxy-wide peace symbol for their reality show's season finale. KRTH looked out over the jubilant crowd and reflected on the unexpected path that had led here. They had set out to create the ultimate prison planet, but instead had birthed a place where the galaxy's most dangerous individuals became its greatest performers, where sworn enemies bonded over extreme sports, and where even the most notorious criminals found a new calling, usually in extreme sports, reality TV, or artisanal coffee. And somewhere in the distance, the magnetic mountains pulsed to their chart-topping cover of We Will Rock You, while Barbara the Tree practiced for the Galactic Dance Championships, and the security drones prepared for their next high-fashion vlog. Welcome to Australia 2.0, where every sentence is an adventure, and the only crime is not being extreme enough.